Okay, I'm going to show 3 video works, and then maybe if we have time some images of photographs or paintings. The first video is, I had a strange story with Italian police in Italy. One day 2 policemen came to my home and gave me a piece of paper. It was written that something is wrong with me, so I have to go to the central police station. And I asked them what's wrong, but they said, we are here just to give you this paper, and it's this squadra mobile. I didn't know what is squadra mobile, but it's actually that section of Italian police who deals with criminality, mafia, and stuff like that. They need to talk with you because something is wrong. So after 5 days, I went there and I showed my paper, and the policeman came out with this question: what's your relationship with your daughters? And so you will see then the story.
E che rapporto ha con le tue figlie?
Fa questa domanda.
Vorremmo avere delle spiegazioni su queste foto che hai scattato.
Cosa ci fanno le mie foto?
Sono sue? Sei scattate lei?
Sì. Come mai queste foto?
Veramente non è tanto il come mai queste foto. Cosa ci fanno questi timbri sulla schiena del bambino?
Sì, adesso devo spiegare un po'. Perché io sono un artista e quei timbri lì...
Cosa c'entrano i timbri sulla schiena delle bambine con il suo essere artista?
Sì, le spiego, perché io il timbri dell'uscita dall'Albania, io li ho visti come una metafora del tuo essere fuori del tuo paese, come un segno che ti traccia la tua vita, che diventa parte del tuo corpo.
Certo. Qua non vedo metafora, qua vedo un timbro sulla schiena di due bambini.
No, ma non è un timbro vero, è un disegno fatto con pennarello.
E viene via?
Certo. Un disegno fatto con pennarello, si può cancellare.
E adesso il timbro è ancora sulla schiena delle bambine?
Ma no, ma io, ripeto, io sono un artista e questo è stata un'operazione che ho fatto proprio per realizzare un'opera d'arte. Cioè io ho visto il timbro dell'uscita dell'Albania come un segno che dimostra il peso dell'uscita del
e
proprio
quindi
paese.
Sono finite in una mostra?
Sì, poi dopo c'è stato questo lavoro esposto anche in una mostra in Albania.
Ma non sarebbe meglio fare le foto alle bambine che sorridono?
Sì, ma cosa c'entra? Scusa.
Sono i talenti.
Ma io faccio tante foto, cioè ai miei figli, come tutti i papà del mondo, faccio foto mai dove sorridono, faccio dei ritratti, dei disegni, faccio dei video.
Le bambine? Le ha fatto dei video?
Sì, un video dove c'era mia figlia che raccontava delle fiabe, alle sue bambole, dove metteva dentro questi personaggi fiabeschi con i suoi ricordi della guerra in Albania.
Era vestita?
Oh, ma c'è cosa scusa? Ma io sono un artista, non sono mica una persona che abusa.
Io non discuto. E poi cosa ne ha fatto? Questi video?
Ma anche quelli li ho presentati in diverse mostre. Cioè, anche tipo questo video che le ho appena detto è stato anche alla Biennale di Venezia.
No, non è comunque il tipo di arte che preferisco.
So I start actually working after I left Albania. I start working with video, often collaborating with my daughters. And so I did the first experience with video with Albanian stories that you could see upstairs. And then, so it was, I mean, this work was shown first in Venice Biennial, then in Manifesta, and in different shows. So, I mean, the face of my older daughter that was 3 years old started to be publishing books and magazines and things like that. So my younger daughter started to be jealous. So I did this video with her too. Is about a legend. It tells that in Albania in 15th century, when Albania was occupied by Turks, it was an image in church of Shkodra, it is actually my town, that escaped from Albania. The angels, the legend says that angels came and bring it in safe in Italy, in another church in a small village in Italy called Genazzano. And for 500 years, people still believe that image could come back. So there are, a lot of rituals, praying, sounds, all this stuff that still people go to this place and supply and pray the image to come back. So hearing about this story, I thought I would like to steal the image from the Italian church and to bring it back. But since I'm not good enough in doing the stealing stuff, I went there and took the image. So I filmed the image in Italy, and when back in Albania organized kind of big event with people who came to see return of the image. And then I filmed the people in Shkodra and then projected them and the city in front of the image in the Church of Italy. So
this is the fortress of Shkodra. Nearby stands the sanctuary of Our Lady of Good Counsel. According to the legend, this sanctuary contained a small painting, a Madonna with Child, much venerated by the Albanians. When the country was invaded by the Turks, the painting is said to have detached itself from the wall on April 25th, 1467. The legend narrates that it was borne aloft by angels in a cloud of light. They brought it to a church in a village in Italy called Genazzano.
There are some clips, it's not like this. It's to make it shorter. This is very bad actually, no? Because I didn't... Okay, anyhow, so you got the idea. No, because I asked to put some clips of the work, but they cut it wrong. Anyhow. So, okay, now I want to show some image that has to do with this kind of how I act actually to fulfill a kind of gap or a kind of empty space. Like in the first video with my daughter, you know, it was this need of my relatives in Albania to see my daughter growing, so I brought them the tape with her singing. And in the case of the legend, I brought the image that people were like praying to come back, and in these photographs I use this, these immigrants usually like to take photographs in front of beautiful buildings of the city where they live, and then they take these photographs and then send the photographs back home. What I did in these photographs is that I called some friends of mine, Albanians who live in Italy, and asked them if they can give me the permission to go and visit their houses they left in Albania and to take some photographs. So I went in Albania, took these photographs in their houses, and then coming back to Italy, I painted these kind of large backdrops, like in these studios, old photographic studios. They had these kind of arts or columns or something like that. But I painted their houses, and then I invited them in my studio to take a photograph in front of their house. And so this is this friend of mine who is in this image in front of his house. So I used to study painting in Albania a lot, and in this case I like to use painting just to build something, like a kind of desire. Yeah, so then I even like this, the whole process. I mean, and the end is a photograph, but still is this kind of ambiguity between photograph and painting that is present there.